Bad Influence, we're reviewing Indiana Jones 3 on the Mega Drive.
Zoom in on me, Eric on one, and I'll be using a home computer to edit some of the finest footage ever shot in the Bad Influence studio.
And Z reports from the Nintendo hotline.
These people are the best game players in the world, and they spent all day helping other people who've gotten stuck.
But before all of that, slimy furtlers, something interesting. The word of the week is poke, which is a techie word for a cheat. The non-techie word for a cheat is, of course, cheat. And here's one for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on the Game Boy. To jump straight through to level 8, the Abyss, simply type in 5556737 on the password screen. To get to level 9, Paradise, type in 5556429. And to get to level 10, School Concert, type in 5551881. And if you've got any complaints about the programme, please phone our producer on 9555732. All right, Andy, you can get on with the programme now.
Oh, thanks.
No, that's fine. No, really, no problem.
No, thanks very much indeed, Nam. Yep, right, thank you. Nam, just clear off, would you? Violet?
Andy?
Exhume.
Stop messing about! We're all sick of you following us around that stupid camera of yours.
You see, great artists are always misunderstood. The reason I've been following Violet around with this camcorder of mine all day is because of a new software package for the Amiga that allows you to edit sound and pictures from either your camcorder or your normal VHS player. First thing you've got to do is load in what you've just recorded, so I'll plug in my camcorder into the computer. And then I'll do like all good directors do and check my rushes back, excuse me. Now then, how is Nam looking? There he is. And I'm now loading in what I just shot on the camcorder into the computer through this bit of equipment here. It plugs into the hard drive port on the side of your Amiga, and it's called a digitizer or a decoder. What it does is it translates the information, the sound and the vision from the camcorder or the video recorder into a language that your computer can understand. And once it's all in there, you can do some really interesting stuff with it. Look, you can watch it forwards by dragging that along, or you can watch it backwards, or by changing up here the frames per second, you can watch it faster, or even slower. The most interesting stuff starts when you select this window, the edit window, because now all the video that I shot is being represented like a film in frame after frame after frame. So if I want to find some interesting bits of Nam, there was a bit, so we can start him there and then have him throw that over his shoulder, and if we end that there and then I select the loop window, we can watch him throw that over his shoulder again and again and again and again and again. Yes, thank you, Nam, that's quite enough of that. Using these other windows here, you can chop bits out, you can make it go backwards, you can put bits in, take bits out, change it all around. Along the bottom here is a pictorial representation of all the sound that went in on the video I've just shot. You can play it, or using these lines here, you can drag it along and listen to what you recorded. There's Nam. There's me. Now, where's Violet saying, stop messing about? There's the beginning of the S. Now, if I take this one here to the end of stop messing about, that's quite small, but I can enlarge the area of sound by using zoom. Play that back. Now we go into the sequencer and find some pictures of Violet saying stop messing about. Now, she was wagging her finger at the time, wasn't she? There she is. There's the beginning, so we put that in as the start point. Messing about. Put that as the end point, and we can program both the sound and the pictures to key W on the keyboard. So now when I hit W, I can scratch mix Violet. And I actually put Nam in earlier on the Q key. The software and the digitizer will cost you about 70 quid. It will run on all Amigas and most Ataris. I think it's really good value for money. Obviously, it's not a full-blown editing package, but it's great fun when you can do this to Violet.
Yes, thank you, Andy. Hollywood is waiting for you. And while we're on the subject of great movie directors, our main review this week is Indiana Jones 3 on the Mega Drive. Based on the film The Last Crusade, and you know the story. You've got to beat the baddies, find the Holy Grail, and rescue your old dad while you're at it. Here's Adam.
This is an 8-bit conversion which still looks like an 8-bit game. It looks to me like they spent loads of money on the license and virtually no money on the game at all. The graphics and sound are rubbish, and the gameplay is even worse. This one is the stupidest parts of the game where Indiana has to jump in there, quickly avoid the rocks to get into a second one, and jump at the right time to avoid falling in the water by getting onto the rope. It just shows how much the game is based on luck rather than skill. The graphics are so pitiful. Just look at that background. I mean, you could easily get more fun out onto one cartridge. If you like the film so much, just use your money and get a video instead. In a way, this game's cheap and nasty. Cheap for the manufacturers and nasty for us. It can take 10 weeks to save up for a Mega Drive game, so it's important to get one that's good. I wanted to give this 0 stars, but the scoring only goes down to 1, so when it is, I won't waste my money on this.
It's not that bad. The whip effect's excellent, and the punching's good too. I'd have to mark it down a bit though, because the first level's pretty difficult.
I expect a lot more from a 16-bit game, and the Mega Drive is definitely capable of more. They're just churning out any old stuff for Christmas.
And so the final scores for Indiana Jones. The boys gave it a dreadful 1 out of 5, and the girls liked it a bit better, 3 out of 5.
If you're a Nintendo fan over here, and who isn't, even President Bush is rumored to play, you need be away from your hero for more than a few seconds a day. For starters, you can snack on Mario cookies. There's everything from pie tins to placemats, from bags to poo floats, from socks to underpants, but I'm not going to show you those. Actually, I'm not in a diner. This is Cafe Mario in Nintendo's American headquarters in Seattle. The people who eat their ham on rye, hold the mustard here, are among the best game players in the world because they're the people who man the hotline.
Nintendo Gameplay, this is Robin. How may I help you?
They're called game counselors, and they go through a grueling training program that lasts about 8 weeks and involves knowing pretty much everything there is to know about every game.
Okay, the hammer is located in the big chest. Have you seen the big chest yet? No? Okay, we've got the big key. No, well, we got some work ahead of us.
The service runs every day from 4 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. And since it started, they've answered 42 million questions.
One should knock the 2 heads off, then you'll be able to defeat the middle head. But you have to have the other 2 heads defeated first.
Games counselors are a walk of just about any type of life. But you definitely have to have a love for video games and, of course, the dexterity to be able to play those games as well. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Not in that long passageway that goes to the other stairs?
No, it's in one of the rooms.
And if the geniuses get stuck, these are the instructions of every game ever made. And this whole thing is just for NES.
We have a library of over 6,000 games available for anybody who wants to play the games. But it's pretty wild because you wouldn't think that they'd have to know all that stuff upstairs. But they also get some help from a large database of information that we have as well.
Okay, got that? Good, good.
We get some really cute kids calling up, very articulate, and seem to know what they're talking about. And I've even talked to a few senior citizens in their 70s, and they're proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo is funding some university research to try and find out what it is that makes video games so addictive. Come on.
There's definitely one game right now that they're getting a lot of questions on, and that would be Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. In fact, we're receiving over 50,000 calls a week on that game alone.
If you have something right with, I'll get you directions right to the ladder.
Okay, we want the blue ones to be up and the orange ones to be down. And then if we jump off the ledge, we can go up the staircase and then go to the upper left door. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, I think so. Thank you. Hello, slimy furtlers. Come with me to a small island off the coast of Australia. This is a cheat for Tasmania. Now, to choose levels, simply plug in 2 control pads the right way up. Then press A, B, C and start on both control pads at the same time when the title screen appears. Then press start, then C when the game begins. Struth.
Now, if you're stuck on a game, whatever you do, don't phone NAM and don't go phoning America. There's a Nintendo hotline in this country too. And the number is 0703 65 2222. Now for this week's news and previews.
Parodius, one of the hottest imports over the past few months, will be officially available for the SNES in February. A game with a ripe sense of humour, the action takes place in an odd world invaded by huge fishy types. By the time you've encountered the sumo wrestlers, dancing girls and penguins, you won't be able to hit your joypad for laughing.
Good news for Game Gear owners. Sega have brought out their special brand of batteries for their juice-guzzling handhelds. Priced at $3.99 for 6. Apparently they give you 5 hours play, which brings down the running cost to about 80p an hour.
Inca is one of the most stunning-looking games I've seen in a long time. Out on PC this week and soon available on CD-ROM. It uses digitised versions of real actors to recreate the mystical Inca civilization from 500 years ago. You play the Chosen One, El Dorado, and, with the help of an old Inca spirit, have to fight the invading conquistadors to retrieve the 3 powers of time, matter and energy and restore the ancient Inca Empire.
This week, Ken sees the Games Master live show, a huge games jamboree organised by our colleagues at Channel 4. It runs from Friday to Sunday at the Birmingham NEC and even includes an exact replica of the Games Master oil rig set.
Now for some more games reviews. Zyconics on the Amiga is a colourful puzzle game in the style of Tetris and Columns. Your mission is to stop the blocks filling up the screen. Here's Kathleen to show us how.
This is an excellent game. You've got to try to make diagonal and horizontal lines to make the screen clear. The music's really brilliant. You can pick jazz or rave or funk or soul, or whether you want to just switch it off. There are lots of different sorts of bombs and exploding balls which blow up your blocks. Some of them are quite good because they get rid of things you don't want. There are 4 different games to play, but they're all much the same. The game gets faster and faster as the screen fills up, so it gets harder to control. I'd definitely buy this. It's good value for money, because it costs less than £20.
Brilliant game, great music, but you have to stop playing it after a while because the pastel shades hurt your eyes.
It's great for improving your hand-to-eye coordination. It's fun to play and great to watch too.
And the scores for Zyconics, the boys gave it an average 3 out of 5, but the girls liked it a bit more. They gave it 4 out of 5.
Next, we've got Bomb Jack on the Game Boy, yet another arcade classic revamp. But does it work as a handheld? Here's John Pierre.
I don't think this works well for the Game Boy. It's just too weak. It's the kind of scoring game that should stay in the arcades. Every 5 levels you come to one without any platforms. Here it's easy to pick up points. Whoops, there goes another level. They're quite short. This is a slow game option. I don't see the point. It just makes the whole game harder. The whole idea is dated, and there are better things out for the Game Boy. It's just an average game. I wouldn't pay £25 for it.
Played this game on the Amstrad and the Commodore 64. This one's not as good. The baddies are too random, and you can't see what's going on clearly.
I used to play this game in the arcades when I was younger. Maybe it's because I'm older now, but I don't really think this version works. I won't go out and buy this.
And the scores for Bomb Jack, the boys gave it 3 out of 5, an average score, and the girls also gave it 3 out of 5.
We get thousands of letters every week to this programme, begging, nay, pleading to come into the studio and be part of the experience that is Bad Influence. Now, some people write us 1 letter, some people 2, some people even 3, but a couple of guys from London have sent us a whole sackload. These are all from Roger and Stephen Wright. What could we do after all those letters but invite them in? They're over here. It also has nothing to do with the fact that they are Pop Duo Fresh. Welcome to Bad Influence, guys.
Thanks very much.
Good to see you. Now, we are the computer games programme to be on. Yeah. So, as hardcore players, we'd like to know your top 5, please.
Top 5. Well, I'll start with boxing, Buster Douglas boxing.
Okay, now why the boxing then?
I like the moves. You can get some real serious sound effects. It's quite funny as well.
What about number 4?
Paperboy. That's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
Why that one?
Avoiding all the cars, checking newspaper in boxes. Nice.
Okay, number 3?
Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course.
Well, yeah, everybody is into Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 2?
Number 2, I reckon, what do you reckon number 2 is? Number 2, WWF Wrestling.
Yeah, no, I saw this at the Future Show at Earl's Court. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was there. I like the moves, you know, they're really realistic, aren't they?
Yeah, you can climb on the ropes, you can actually jump on Hulk Hogan or whoever you choose. You can also hear the crowd going, hey, in the background. It's really sound effects.
Okay, so WWF number 2, number 1?
Number 1. Number 1, come on, it's got to be. Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. Oh,
so you fancy yourself as Street Fighter 2 players, do you?
Definitely. Yeah.
Fancy taking on a Bad Influence challenge then?
Well, Yeah, why not?
Listen, come over here, because there's a guy you've got to meet here. This is Lakesh.
Lakesh.
Lakesh does the reviews for us here on the programme.
He does,
so,
yeah?
so this man knows what he's talking about, and he's well hard on Street Fighter 2. Who's going to take him on?
Me.
OK, Rog. Have you picked the characters that you want?
Yeah, OK.
I'm sure it
beat me.
Guile against Chun-Li.
OK, you ready?
In your own time, lads. It's Bad Influence against Fresh, Street Fighter 2.
Let's go. Let's go.
OK. Well, Roger's doing some spectacular moves. We haven't done anything yet. Lakesh gets a kick in there. He's down. He's doing the low move. He's over and kicked again.
But she's great, though. She can move, yeah?
Your life's running out there, Roger. Not doing terribly well.
Check this out. It's a serious move.
The expression walkover springs to mind, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah. I have to admit, he's good.
He's
oh, come on, Roger. You can't lose for us. Oh, man. I think he's been playing quite well.
The guys who review the games on this programme know their stuff.
Yeah, sure. Go on, Lakesh.
Come on. Oh, he's down again. Roger's staging a late comeback from Roger. Late comeback in the air. And down. Guile wins. Never mind. Well done, Lakesh. Commiserations, Rog.
Thanks, lad.
Thanks to both of you for coming in. And let's hope that the new single, Did I Say Ti Amo, does a little bit better in the charts than you did on Street Fighter 2. Pleasure to see you. Thanks, guys.
Beep, 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 beep. Medical flash. Exercise and fresh air are very, very bad for you. Do not do it. Exercise rots your brain, makes your trainers smell, and causes sweat. Pugh. Fresh air and sunlight make your skin go all funny, so keep your curtains closed all day. In fact, the closest you should ever get to exercise or outdoor activity are games like Super Tennis on the SNES, and even that can be tiring, so use this cheat when you're playing singles. First of all, get Control Pad 1 and press your Select button. Then, move over to Control Pad 2 and press R twice, left once, down once, then B, A, and then LL. That spells ball. Get it? Then, go over to Control Pad 2 and use your B and A buttons to change your top line to Fs. Then finally, press Select, and you've got the ultimate tennis player. And after all that, I've come over a bit funny. I think I'll have a lie down.
If you want to access the information in the Data Blast, set your video to record now. Last week's competition was to win a trip to Manchester to record a single with Brooklyn in their recording studios there. We asked you to identify 5 clips of music from 5 games, and they were as follows. That was Street Fighter 2. Then came this one. Super Mario World. This was number 3. If you didn't get that, you've been living under a rock, Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 4. Tried to nip the wall that game, Tetris. And finally, the Lemmings. First correct answer out of the Bad Influence waste paper basket came from Daniel Desborough, who lives at Spring Lane, Seabrook, Hythe in Kent. Congratulations, enjoy your recording, and if you need anybody to help on backing vocals, I'm available at reasonable rates.
This week's competition prize is a Menacer and a Bad Influence t-shirt, and the question is, which actor played Indiana Jones's dad? Answers on a postcard or sealed down envelope marked competition to arrive no later than next Monday. Don't forget the Bad Influence magazine in the shops now, and other than that, I'll see you same time, same place next week for Bad Influence, or I'll see you 9:25 Saturday for What's Up, Doc.
Hang on a minute, that's normally my line.